So Great Eastern Cutlery really has been on the bit of different knife kind of thing here lately. Um, and in front of me here, I have another one of those knives. This is the 74 Cotton Sampler, which is based off of a knife that did exist. And from what I understand, the knife was basically used to check the quality of cotton when you were like buying it and stuff. How exactly they did that, I don't know. You'd have to talk to somebody who has more insight into this knife pattern than me because I don't know. I just think it's a interesting pattern. It's on the same frame as the 47, just flipped the other way. You can see that here. These are the same frame. They're just flipped upside down for the 74 or for the 47, depending on how you want to look at it. These both use they both use the jigged micarta, which I really like, and they both have the same shield and everything. They both have this interesting bolster with the satin two different ways, which looks really interesting and cool. And the cotton sampler has this really big belly, drop point, or spade blade, maybe even. And then this flat part here that I believe has something to do with checking the quality of cotton. But like I said, I don't know that much about that, so you'd almost have to talk to somebody who knows more about the pattern than I do. As far as I'm concerned, it's just an interesting pattern, and it's a cool one to add to a knife collection or anything, or just a cool one to have. Um, Action on this knife is very good, just like you would pretty much expect. There is a nail nick. This one does have a lanyard tube, just like the 47 that they just released does. So if you like putting lanyards on your knives, that's cool. Half stop, but the action, like I said, is very nice on this knife. Fit and finish looks good. I believe these are steel liners, so I do like a knife that has more steel than brass, just cause patina and stuff. And brass is like gets that green stuff on it. Let me see if I can wipe off this blade a little bit better. I tried to get most of the oil, factory oil, off of it because it's a real pain in the butt to film with factory oil. That didn't really help. I probably need to isopropyl alcohol it to really get it to not look weird and smudgy and stuff. You can see the Tidiute cutlery, good as gold etch there. That's a part of Tidiute history. One of these days, I am going to review that Tidiute book that I bought. Um, One of these days, of course, Tank Stamp Tidiute Cutlery, Titusville, PA. Great Eastern Cutlery, GEC, carbon steel, and the pattern number. Um, but yeah, this is an interesting knife, cotton sampler. And like I said, it's based off of a pattern that did exist. I know there was at least a cotton sampler by, I think, Remington back in the day. And like I said, I believe it just had something to do with testing the quality of cotton when you were like buying cotton. So it's interesting. It's not a super usable knife blade. I mean, I could certainly use this for just about any real task. It's got enough cutting blade that you could use this for regular EDC tasks, opening boxes, cutting sandwiches, cutting some smaller bits of food and stuff. Um, but it's certainly not as practical as just having a full size blade. It's really more of a nod to the historical significance of a knife design like this back in the day when you would have carried a pocket knife that was really specialized towards what you did as like a job. So like if you were going around to, I don't know, auctions or whatever, or just buying cotton at like farms or whatever, and you wanted to make sure you weren't getting ripped off, I guess, you might carry a knife like this because it would help you discern quality, I suppose. But speaking of quality, this knife is very good quality, like you expect from Great Eastern Cutlery. This one is, as well as the Hawkbill pruner, came wrapped in bubble wrap instead of wax paper. I do like the wax paper more, but I think with the satin bolster, upholsters. People complain about them getting scratched up or something sometimes, so they shipped them with bubble wrap instead. At least that's what I've heard from some other people. I don't know how accurate that is. As far as I'm concerned, these are both more of like working knives anyway, because the jig micarta and the satin and everything. So I certainly wouldn't be super concerned about that. They did release both of these in a wood, and the wooden cotton sampler looks really cool. It's got like a long pull, and it just looks really nice. Um, but these were easy to get. These micarta ones, for whatever reason, people didn't want the pruner especially, but it didn't seem like they jumped on the cotton sampler either. Um, I don't know if that's a trend that's going to continue going forward. I'm kind of hoping so because I really do like Great Eastern Cutlery knives, and I'd like to go back to the days where the knives hang out at dealers for a little bit instead of selling out within 30 seconds like a lot of the knives have. They did announce this 25 Barlow that like half the blade's going to be a bottle opener, and that wasn't popular with a lot of people because I think the 25 is one of those like beloved patterns that people really like, and they'd rather it not be wasted on something kind of silly. That being said, if they're not super expensive, I might pick one up if I can get one. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Remington Daddy Barlow, which I think is going live tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be able to get one of them. That's priced at $200, but I'm hoping I can get one of them because I do like a good daddy or granddaddy Barlow. As I'm sure a lot of you know who have been here for a while, the 5-inch Barlows really make me happy. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get one of them. We'll see what happens. But I was happy to be able to get both this cotton sampler and the Hawkbill pruner knife. Anytime I can pick up a Great Eastern Cutlery knife, I'm pretty happy with it, except for a couple of the patterns that I just didn't even want that have been released recently. But anyway, cotton sampler, pretty cool knife design. Not super useful unless you are, for some reason, still needing to check the quality of cotton that you're buying. Um, but cool knife nonetheless, has history behind it and everything. So that's cool, but not super useful now. That being said, I don't know if I'm ever going to carry this. It's kind of like the pruner. It's like I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I thought it was cool. So it's like, well, I want it, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So at some point I might throw it in my pocket just to throw it in my pocket, but not really a super usable blade shape for me. But anyway, this is the Great Eastern Cutlery Cotton Sampler, and I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.